So what's the 411 on infant goat's milk formula these days? Because it is becoming more and more popular among some new moms and dads. And that's what we're going to be talking about on today's video. Hi, I'm Dr. Obidi. I'm a pediatrician at Partners in Pediatrics and Family Health and the CEO of Newborn Prep Academy, where we create content to help moms and dads parent their newborns more confidently. And today we are going to talk briefly about goat's milk formula. So why are parents these days opting to go for goat's milk formula instead of a regular cow's milk formula? I think the main reason is because it is then generally easier to digest because of the kind of protein goat's milk formula contains. The form of casein protein it contains is a little easier on the tummy. Also has smaller fat globules, which makes it easier to digest as well compared to a cow's milk formula. And I also think that a lot of goat's milk formula, these brands, Kendamil will be a very popular one. Is organically an organic formula, which again for a lot of parents that is important to them to make sure that the standards that the formula is being held to in terms of preparation is really high, and they're assured that there aren't any additives or is being created from ingredients that are free from pesticides and GMO, and so that can be an appeal for a lot of parents as well. I will say that there also is very strict manufacturing standards for cow's milk formula, and a lot of them also are GMO free, which makes that also something to consider when you are thinking of whether to go with goat's milk formula or regular cow's milk formula. So again, it's easy on the tummy for the most part. The other thing to consider when you're thinking about goat's milk formula versus cow's milk formula is for some parents, they report that it might be a sweeter taste to goat's milk formula, which can be appealing to them and more acceptable than a regular cow's milk formula. I will say that oftentimes newborns are not necessarily discriminatory when it comes to taste, and will basically suck anything you give them for the most part. So it is something that you have to think about as a parent. The goat's milk formula also has naturally more occurring calcium and calcium and vitamin A as opposed to cow's milk formula, but it has also less naturally occurring folic acid as opposed to cow's milk. Now, when it comes to formula preparation, both cow's milk and goat's milk end up being fortified with all the nutrients that your baby needs, such as iron and folic acid and DHA. And so at the end of the day, you do have comparable micronutrients and when you compare both products. Now, one of the things that maybe it'll be of a disadvantage with goat's milk formula is that it can be more expensive when compared to cow's milk formula, and sometimes more difficult to source or to purchase as well, or readily available when compared to cow's milk formula, and so that's something to think about. At the end of the day, when it comes to the amount of calories in both formulas, it is pretty much the same. If you compare two popular brands, for instance, Kendamil goat's milk formula is 19.5 kilocalories per ounce, and Enfamil cow's milk formula is 20.1 kilocalories per ounce. So it's pretty much the same. And if you look at the actual fat content, the protein content, and the carbohydrate content, very similar as well. So what's a parent to do? I think it's one of those decisions that you make when it comes to your newborn, where you make a decision that is probably more aligned with your values, and at the end of the day, both formulas will actually give your newborn quite good nutrition. It is very important if you're considering goat's milk formula to speak to your pediatrician to make sure that there aren't any contraindications with your baby, or to make sure, for instance, that they don't have a cow's milk formula allergy. And so that's something important to look at, and you should really speak to your pediatrician or medical provider to get some guidance. At the end of the day, if should you choose to go with goat's milk formula, it's going to be giving you good nutrition for your baby for as long as you're going with an established brand that has all the requirements that your baby needs. I hope this was helpful. Again, goat's milk formula is a bit more of a rage these days, and there's some good reason for it. Just make sure that you're getting good advice and you're doing your research before you decide which to go with. All right, well, wherever you're watching this video, there'll be more resources to help you parent confidently your newborn. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you get notified when we have new content available. And make sure you share this with a friend, okay? All right, bye for now.